Sexy Sunday School, where we talk about everything sexy and everything spiritual. I'm your host, Miss Nicole Brooke, the modern day Mary Magdalene, on a mission to help humanity evolve by talking about some of the most taboo topics on earth. And there's nothing more taboo than walking into a Catholic or a Christian church and preaching the gospel of Mary Magdalene. Trust me, I would know. I have made a lot of mistakes during my Mary Magdalene awakening, and one of them was assuming that I was the only one chosen woman to speak her truth. But today I humbly step down from that pedestal and welcome in the truth that Mary Magdalene lives inside of all of us. We can all be the chosen ones, but it's up to you whether or not you're ready to answer her call. Every time I whisper, and especially when I scream the name Mary Magdalene, I am giving you a divine invitation to get to know the real Mary Magdalene, the divine mother of humanity, your spiritual mother, the one daughter of Sophia, the beloved of Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus Christ, the queen of heaven and earth. And if you don't know what any of that means, then subscribe to Sexy Sunday School's podcast and stick around to find out. So today I want to talk to you about what does it mean to be a modern day Mary Magdalene? Because I know that I do not stand alone. And it's thanks to the modern day Mary Magdalenes who started spreading her gospel that I even was able to remember myself. And I embraced the truth that there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of modern day Mary Magdalenes. We are but an orchestra directed by Mary Magdalene. Together, we are speaking her truth. Together, we are spreading her gospel. Together, we are restoring her name. Each modern day Mary Magdalene around the world has a unique gift and a unique purpose, whether that be getting knee deep in those Gnostic scriptures and spreading the truth, whether that be educating their community about sacred sexuality, whether that be embodying a modern day medicine woman healing people with their hands. And as for me, I'm here to embody justice. I'm here to expose the deep states that has had human minds enslaved since the very beginning. I am here to liberate. I am here to initiate your mind into higher realms of consciousness. I am here to share with you what I have found on my journey because it has the power to change the world and win women's rights across the world. You see, I fully believe that not only am I the reincarnation of Mary Magdalene, but I have so many other lives that create the Miss Nicole Brooke that stands before you today. One of them including Susan B. Anthony. One of them including Isis. One of them including Eve. One of them including Zoe, a name that has been nearly erased from human history. Well, I'm here to set her story straight. The truth is that Mary Magdalene died before her mission was complete. She was supposed to be the appointed leader of the church, the one to continue on Yeshua's teachings. Jesus came here to lead you to the Father, but Mary Magdalene came here to lead you to the mother. And every single modern day Mary Magdalene around the world is doing the same thing. We are anchoring in divine feminine Christ wisdom from the astrals into the physical plane of reality. Together, we are the second coming of Christ, the divine feminine Christ. The female equivalent of Jesus, because up in the heavenly realms, God is not just a man, but she is a woman, and her name is Sophia. Prepare your hearts, your minds, your lives for Christ. Repent, atone, for he is not coming alone. Us modern day Mary Magdalenes are here to prepare the way for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Welcome to the age of enlightenment. Welcome to the golden age of miracles. A long time prophesied era of human awakening, ascension, reconciliation, and remembrance. If this message is calling to you, if it is shaking something inside of your soul, if you have been hearing about Mary Magdalene and there's something that you want to know more about, I am calling you to become initiated into the path of Mary Magdalene. You could be a modern day Mary Magdalene too. Sexy Sunday School is now recruiting you and igniting you, initiating you on the path of becoming Mary Magdalene. During my awakening, I was receiving divine downloads from my mother on the other side. I used a psychic medium whose name is Mish, who I recommend to every single person on this earth. And my mom was giving me divine direction the entire time. And she said, Nicole, you need to become someone. I didn't know who that was, but eventually I put the pieces together. I needed to become Mary Magdalene. So step number one in becoming a modern day Mary Magdalene is by believing that you too could have been her. To put yourself in her shoes. To go do your research about what she has lived through. To decipher what are merely rumors about her and what is her truth. Allow Mary Magdalene to speak to you. If you are feeling the same goosebumps that I am feeling right now, it is because you may have downloaded the template of Mary Magdalene. The reason why there's a Magdalene revolution right now, the reason why so many women are called to spiritually mentor with Mary Magdalene is because they chose before incarnating on this earth that they would download her template. Now, when I say that you are downloading a template, it means you are downloading their memories. Every single modern day Mary Magdalene that exists today has downloaded the template of Mary Magdalene. You can also awaken the Mary Magdalene inside of you by doing your research about her, by putting yourself in her shoes, by truly becoming her and allow the magic of the journey take shape. Not only can you do this with Mary Magdalene, but you can do this with Goddess Isis, with Mother Mary, with Kali, with any of the goddess archetypes. In becoming superhuman as a woman, what you are doing is you are awakening your DNA. Before you incarnated, you had a life purpose, which required a skill set that you were going to need to draw upon. And these you would get from past lives. And so when you become a human, before your soul enters a human body, you decide who are your spiritual mentors, what templates, what archetypes do you want to embody, what do you need to embody to then gain the skill set to conduct your mission. Here's one thing that I need you to understand that's going to expose the deep state and how they've controlled your mind. The dark forces in this world have had control over the manufacturing of the human body and the human mind. It has always been them who has had one up on the light forces. They have wanted to make humans so dumb, so subservient, and slaves. They wanted to make humans slaves to them. So they manipulated our DNA so that instead of all 12 strands being intact to make a full, awakened human person, which is when your divine spirit is activated inside of you, you are both human and divine, an anthropos, as Mary Magdalene would say in her gospel. Instead of having those 12 DNA strands, you only have 3. That is why humans don't operate at our full capacity, because we don't fully remember who we are. When you have your 12 strands of DNA activated, you are fully connected to your God source. You awaken outside of the matrix by reclaiming your DNA. To reclaim your DNA and to become fully human, you need light. What is light but information? When you download information about your spiritual ascension, about your spiritual connection, you go 100% into developing your spirituality. Your spirituality is you knowing your spirit. Who are you? That is what I've been asking myself since I was 6 years old and I got part 1 of my divine mission. Who am I? So one thing that you can do to start activating your own spiritual abilities is by going inside and asking, who am I? Question it all. You hear that Mary Magdalene's both a whore and she's a saint? Question it all. You see that Jesus was real. Oh, he's not the Messiah. He is the Son of God. Question it all. Think critically. Go do your research. And how do you know when things are true or not? Well, it's going to align with your heart. When I awoke into my truth as Mary Magdalene, when I would read scripture, I would have lightning bolts of information. Woo, woo. It's recognizing that, oh, this is true for me. And it awakens something in your DNA. You're literally repairing your DNA when you commit to your spiritual ascension, when you become a seeker. Becoming Mary Magdalene requires you to step out of your current identity and to accept a new identity. I was a sexy burlesque artist at the top of her career when I asked for God. And when I asked for God and the truth of Jesus Christ, I got Mary Magdalene. But since my mom told me you were her, that was you, I said, well, shit. That makes life a little bit more complicated now, doesn't it? I had never been part of religion. I wanted to be when I was a little girl, and I explored a lot of different religions. I've been studying world religion and spirituality my entire life. I'm Jewish by blood, by descent, but I've been to Catholic church and Christian church and an Islamic mosque. I've been to a Mormon church. I've been to a Buddhist place. I'm a mix of everything. I cherry pick from all the world religions to see what happens with me, and I found the keys. I found the keys to heaven. I found the way, and that was through Mary Magdalene. So if you want to fully be liberated spiritually and sexually, you have to put yourself in Mary Magdalene's shoes. You have to realize and accept the fact. We cannot say, oh, this is just theory. No, it is a fact that Mary Magdalene was the wife of Jesus Christ, the soulmate. Not only that, but she was the mother of his children, which is not a scandal. It is a miracle because it means that the blood of Christ runs through all of us today. When you realize that Mary Magdalene was the wife of Jesus Christ, and if you are on the path of becoming Mary Magdalene, you need to think of Jesus as your husband. You need to fall in love with Jesus Christ, with Yeshua ben Joseph. You need to see yourself as worthy of being the soulmate of Jesus Christ, of being his queen. I grew into becoming a Christed queen, and I couldn't have done it without Jesus. I couldn't have done it without him. You have to submit in a certain way, just like Mary Magdalene had to submit in a certain way to Jesus without losing her own authority and independence. I went into the Christian church knowing that I am head over heels in love with Jesus Christ, but there are certain things in the Bible that I will not tolerate. Calling sexuality and sensuality as a sin? No. Saying that Eve comes from the rib of a man? No. Saying that God is only a man? No. Does it mean that I don't love Jesus? No. Jesus led me in there to show me and expose to me the lies and manipulations in the Bible so that I could tell you. Becoming Mary Magdalene requires you to discern, to use your divine feminine intuition into discovering the mysteries of earth. And now, I don't want to give away all of the mysteries and everything that I have found, because that's part of the magic for you to figure out. If I sat here and told you everything, it's going to take the fun out of it for you. It'll also take away your own spiritual initiations, your own dark nights of the soul. What humanity needs right now to gain world peace is a reconciliation with God. We need to get on the same page with God. So many of us have a God wound, and that's what I can talk about in another episode. Mary Magdalene preached Gnostic Christianity, and Jesus did as well. But the church did a number, and they turned him into a figure that we worship without people actually really getting to know him. So in becoming Mary Magdalene, becoming a modern day Mary Magdalene, you have to ask for Jesus into your life. You have to fall in love with him, because that's who she is. She and Jesus are soulmates. They are meant to be together. They were destined to be together. They existed in the eons before they were ever human. To become a modern day Mary Magdalene, you stick with your sexually empowered and liberated mind while also accepting the teachings of Jesus and accepting him for who he is. And you are going to have a very unique and special relationship with him that is different than anyone else. But the modern day Mary Magdalene is not just led by Mary Magdalene alone, but she is also hand in hand with Jesus. There's a beautiful mystery in figuring out for yourself who Mary Magdalene is. I can sit here and tell you all of her past lives, all of her future lives afterwards. We could sit here and argue, oh, she was his wife. Oh, no, she wasn't. Oh, it was just... Go find out for yourself. In my ebook, How to Find Your Sexy, A Good Girl's Guide to Awakening Her Sexy Side, I have a whole section dedicated to the top resources that I use during my Mary Magdalene awakening. If you go sign up for Sexy Sunday School, my school platform, SKOOL, in the Quantum Cafe, you'll find these reading resources for yourself for free. You can't get the whole book. The book you need to buy. But the resources, they're there. What I will warn you, though, about your journey of becoming Mary Magdalene is that you open up the doors to spiritual warfare, because you are going to find the truth about who runs this world or who has run the world in the past. You're going to find out what they did to Mary Magdalene. You're going to find out all the injustices that she has had to face. But that within you, that anger that's going to arise in you, is going to be turned into power. Because you will so passionately stand up here online in your communities and say, I stand for Mary Magdalene. Because you're going to have to feel her pain too. In becoming Mary Magdalene and putting yourself in her shoes, you need to ignite that compassionate heart of, oh my God, if that was me and my husband was being killed on the cross for literally just shining his light, oh, that's going to make you mad. And then you were run out of town and called a prostitute and had to go all the way to England and France to continue your ministry because you were scared for your life. It's going to make you mad, and that's what makes us passionate. And it's something beautiful, darling. Something beautiful. Becoming a modern day Mary Magdalene is a sacred shit show. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, but that's why I am here for you. I am your Magdalene mentor. I want you to discover who she is yourself, and you can have me as your guide, as a sounding board, as your spiritual healer and therapist. I will help guide you to the resources that you need to read, but you need to do the work yourself. And then, at the end of it, just like me, 3 years later, you can say proudly that I am a modern day Mary Magdalene because I have activated her in me and she speaks through me. Every single modern day Mary Magdalene out there is a voice for Mary Magdalene, and we are getting louder and louder and louder because we will not stand for the injustices, and we will do anything it takes to get on a world stage and tell everyone who she really is. Because it matters. Because it's important. Because the truth that she needed to speak can create world peace. It will give you spiritual peace. It will help you understand the reality in which you are living. The path that you are going down that is not aligned with your future, but with your past. You will become blatantly aware of the deep states, manipulations in the Bible that have gotten you to play small. The ones that have women without rights and in jail for doing things that they should be free to do. Becoming Mary Magdalene awakens the goddess in you. It will awaken your third eye. You will see through the bullshit. And you will live proudly the way that you decide to. The way that Mary Magdalene guides you to. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be dressed in a red cape and doing healing circles for women. No, 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 no. Mary Magdalene's many sides come out in many waves. Waves and ways. But that is for you to discover. I had to discover who Miss Nicole Brooke is, who Mary Magdalene is, who Mary Monroe is. I had to create my own identity that conserves who Miss Nicole Brooke is with the activated Mary Magdalene template. I will give you an incredible resource right now, and that is the Sophia Code by Kaya Ra. You'll see me holding these books in a lot of my advertisements because this is a book that has changed my life and it will change yours. Kaya Ra is a modern day Mary Magdalene. She is a modern day Sophia embodiment, as am I. She is a Sophia Dragon Tribe member, as am I. The most powerful modern day Mary Magdalene, and she has given you a gift that will awaken your DNA. I want you to buy this book. If you don't have the money to buy both the print and the Audible, buy the Audible version. Dedicate yourself to activating the goddess within. Because with the transmissions and everything that she has channeled into this book, it is going to awaken your own DNA. When you realize that you come from the goddess herself, you will start to realize how magical you are too. When you start to realize that the goddess was not just a myth, but a reality, you will become a goddess as well. What it means to be a modern day Magdalene is to stand for truth, to embody karma, to embody justice. We all sing her one song, but we're all singing on different notes and in different harmonies. And together we will restore the name of Mary Magdalene. We will tell her story and speak her truth. There is no more time. There is no more time for, oh, we don't know if that's the truth or not. No, I am telling you right now, as an authority figure of Mary Magdalene, that this is her truth. That she was the embodiment of the goddess, of Zoe, of Sophia, a beloved of Jesus Christ. It is time for humanity to wake up and realize that Jesus Christ was a human, which means he had sex and he had family. It was his mission to seed humanity with his blood. Because that means that your DNA, just like my DNA, is a Christed DNA, so that when I hear my story, I awaken and I align with my divine mission. I am here to expose the Roman Catholic Church. I am here to expose the American political and judicial system as a modern day Mary Magdalene. What are you here to do? Please meet me inside the Sexy Sunday School community. Please reach out on Instagram. If you would like some private Magdalene mentoring, you don't have to do this alone. Going through my Mary Magdalene awakening, finding spiritual warfare for the first time in my life, suffering through the stigma, having mental health crises, spiritual psychosis, you don't deserve to have to do that alone. The path of the seeker is not an easy one, but it is well worth it. In there, you'll find your power. You will find the freedom that so many people envy in me. I am a free thinker. I don't follow the same rules that society does, and you're not supposed to either. We are here to create our new earth, not to continue down the same path of repeating history over and over and over again. We are here to evolve, and I am here to help you do the same thing as well. I am here to expose the deep state, and I do that in my ebook. One of them, How to Find Your Sexy, which will awaken the divine feminine goddess inside of you waiting to erupt. And also The Greatest Story Ever Told, which is a summary of On the Origin of the World, the Gnostic Christian scripture that will change the world and win women's rights. That is my mission. Go read it. Now is not a time to put your spirituality to the side. We are at a critical junction in human history. Evolution or devolution, my friends. Take your spiritual development seriously. Go do the work. Sign up for the courses. Go do your research and watch how it transforms your life. Watch how God transformed your life. If a former preschool teacher turned professional sexy dancer, turned professional prostitute, could dedicate her life to Christ, it means something. I have a master's in education, a degree in psychology and Spanish. I am an educated woman, and I went head over heels crazy for Christ because there is truth in his story. And there is truth in the story of Mary Magdalene, but you need to decipher for yourself who she is. And I will tell you who she is, but I want you to find out for yourself. I hope you've gained some enlightenment from this, and it's inspired you to follow the fire inside of you. I embrace the sacred rage inside of me because it's what gives me passion to continue to preach the gospel of Mary Magdalene. It is powerful information that has the ability to change your life. I'm not going to beg you, but I'm going to beg you. Stop waiting around for Jesus and become your own Messiah in your life. And that starts with you going to do your research. Following your heart, not following the dogma, because I will tell you right now, there is a lot of BS in that Bible as well as religion. I have been burnt, I have been shamed, but that does not take away how much I love Christ and how much I will continue to fight for our new world order, our 5D new earth. It will not stop me from manifesting the second coming of Christ, because humanity, we are worth it. We are worth having Jesus here again to lead us home, to help us become better humans. But he is not complete without Mary Magdalene. That is only one half of the story. You are missing the whole other side of the moon. You are missing the feminine face of the god. You are missing her story. His story has been shoved down our throat, and we were forced to believe everything about it. Well, I give you permission to put that in the trash and find your own truth. This is the way of Mary Magdalene, of the Gnostic Christians. We respect that everyone has their own path to source, and that you have to trust your own intuition and your heart to find that. And Mary Magdalene is a guide who will lead you to the ultimate level of enlightenment. Becoming a modern day Mary Magdalene requires commitment, dedication, and devotion to unearthing the most ancient mysteries in the world, and then embodying them, and then preaching them. It takes bravery to fight the stigma of what it means to be a Mary Magdalene. But it is so worth it, baby, because the freedom that you will gain, it's priceless. The connection you will gain with your higher self and with God, priceless. You will begin to manifest miracles on the daily. You will be in complete alignment with your Dharma, and you will find peace. And that is what I wish for all of you today. Thank you for tuning in this transmission, this Magdalene transmission. That's what this was. I had a little script at the very beginning, but then I just went off on my tangent, which you could probably see. I hope you learned from it. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, give me some 5 stars. I'll see you in the school community. And if you would like private one-to-one ascension training, Magdalene mentoring, sexy coaching, I'm your girl. Just reach out. Instagram, send me an email, get on school. There's so many ways to get to me. Just get to me. I know you need me, and I need you too. We can't do this alone. We're meant to do this together. I love you, and have a great day.